What's up, guys? Today we're going to be looking at some of the best Spider-Man art on the internet. From Facebook, Instagram to TikTok, there's a ton of amazing artwork out there. And if you guys stay tuned to the end, I'll be painting my own artwork using one of the characters from Across the Spider-Verse. Let's start from the top.
Bring your baby downtown, go cheerleaders.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Fine, thank you.
Oh my god!
This was a very interesting character. I didn't even know there was a spider cat that existed, but apparently it does. Along with a whole lot of other animals. There's a spider pig, and there was a spider T-Rex that was in the new movie. There's some really cool pencil work. Oh wow. The Prowler spider. Oh. This guy was amazing. But the Spot, my god. I remember seeing him in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. He's kind of like one of those throwaway villains, you really didn't take him seriously. I mean, his powers were kind of cool even in the cartoon, but in this movie, yeah, they really went there with him. It really is crazy how you can take an obscure character that nobody knows about, and now he's like an A-list villain, and everybody knows his name.
So I'm trying to draw Miguel at the moment, and I came to a very important realization. He's a fucking trapezoid. I'm here struggling to figure out his facial structure, and I realize that his whole fucking face, except for his nose, and even then his nose, is a trapezoid.
Wow. Geometry lesson. That's crazy. Never would have noticed that.
When it comes to a smack pack, I can't lie. I wanna ride.
Let's just take a second to talk about Miguel for a minute. Miguel O'Hara. He is Spider-Man 2029, one of the newest characters introduced into the Spider-Verse. Love his costume design. I remember seeing him back in high school. He's one of the trading cards I have. If I can find it, I'll put it up here on the screen. His suit is awesome. He was very menacing in this movie. And that scene that you guys see from the trailers where he's like running after Miles, that's crazy. He looks crazy, and I loved him in this movie.
If you don't shut your mouth,
I was hoping we could see some of this guy.
for you, punk.
Not to keep interrupting, but we gotta talk about Spider-Punk. He, for me, stole the movie. He stole the show. He was awesome. He was cool. I didn't know much about him, but man, great character.
My senses, yo, I stay in another dimension. Fear is non-existent.
One thing I like about this is he used a lot of different techniques to bring this to life. He had spray paint, he had colored pencils, and it looks like he put down some kind of resin in the corner over there. Really cool. Turned out really nice. Good job. Silver Spider. I don't know who that is. I'm not sure if there's somebody fan fiction, but I'm gonna have to look into this, but that's a pretty cool drawing. Again, they had so many alternate versions of Spider-Man. This guy was actually really cool. I know I'm gonna butcher his name, so I'm just gonna put it here on the screen. Yeah, I love the way how he would swing around the city. It wasn't so much a web shooter, it was a device that he was using, and the animation in this movie was just top tier. Some nice pencil work. Looks like they're using colored pencils, and they're also using gel pens. Man, that detail is sick.
Can't stop me now!
Now, I don't know who that artist is, but that's a really cool cup. Isn't that your page?
How'd that get in there?
Oops.
Ooh, certain things you just can't refuse.
Oh, wow.
She wanna ride me like a cruise.
And that's all done with a ballpoint pen. Now, this is something different. Looks like they're building a sculpture. Now, that's badass. That's badass. I just loved everything about her. Her suit's cool. She's cool. Spider-Gwen is cool. Next, we're going to try it over to Instagram and see what kind of artwork's over there. All right, so right off the bat, we're jumping into Spider-Man 2099. This is some clean artwork. I love this style. It's very sharp, have a lot of angles to it. Probably some of my favorite artwork. I love this style of drawing. All right, so I wanted to see what Instagram had as far as Spider-Punk goes, and right off the bat, not disappointed. We got some really cool images here. I mean, look at that artwork on there. That looks like it's totally digital. It looks like it's all digital art. Very clean, very smooth. Some more digital art here. I'm guaranteeing you there's going to be a ton of these come Halloween. Watch. Another thing, too, I liked about Spider-Punk, spoilers, if you haven't seen the movie, skip ahead. He was also dropping knowledge. He showed Miles how to use his spider powers in a way that became very helpful in this movie. Another thing too I like about Spider-Punk is his animation style. It looks like he was clipped out of a magazine or some old newspapers. All of them had their own look, which was so cool for this movie. Just like this one here. Awesome, awesome drawing. I mean, just look at that. That's crazy. Visually, probably one of the most appealing looking Spider-Man from that movie. I need to draw some Spider-Punk. Maybe I'll draw him at the end of this. One thing I didn't see too much of is the Indian Spider-Man. So we do have the Lego version of him. That's pretty cool. I don't see a lot of fan art of him. There is this one. This one's actually pretty cool. This looks like it could be... I think it's just digital. From a distance, it looks like it could be done with colored pencil, but I think it's digital. Here's another one. This is awesome. Recreating the original Spider-Man's cover, Amazing Fantasy issue #1. That's a nice homage. All right, back on track here. Some more Spider-Gwens. So it looks like with this, they were using a mixture of Copic markers, which I don't have. I need to get some of those. Color pencil was also used in this, and I think I saw them pull out a Posca pen. Many different media types to achieve this look, and it looks amazing. All right, one thing I like about this is I love how they had the spot, or the, I guess like the dimensional fluid coming out of his spots. Looks like we got some more Copic markers here. Now here's a character that I was surprised to show up in here. This was Spider-Woman. Believe it or not, she was the original Spider-Woman, and this is what she looked like back then. It was nice to see that they adapted her into this movie. Another character that I was happy to see was Scarlet Spider. In the 90s, he was one of my favorite Spider-Man. I love that look. He was the first urban-looking Spider-Man. He had the little ripped-up hoodie over his suit. I loved his exposed web shooters. He just had a very clean look back then. He also made an appearance in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Only problem with him, he became a very hated Spider-Man because the way they introduced him, he was supposed to be a clone that...
I'm his clone. Or maybe he's my clone. We're not sure.
That later was supposed to be the real Peter Parker that we've been reading about all these years. But then everybody hated that idea, so they went back and just said, oh, you know, he was the clone, and the Peter that you knew since Stan Lee made him was the real Spider-Man.
This is starting to sound like a bad comic book plot. It gets worse.
See how confusing that is? Nobody liked that. And for a while, I didn't see anything of him. He just recently came back. Not only in this movie, but in his own comic book, I think, and he has a new suit. This suit's cool, but I like the original one better. We've seen a lot of the other characters, but we haven't seen anything of the traditional Spider-Man Peter Parker. So let's see what we can find of him. Looks like they're doing a comic book cover. I love the detail in this. A lot of energy in that. I love the Copic markers.
All right, pull your hatchets.
Sorry. It's crazy, this art box guy keeps popping up. Not like I'm trying to promote myself or anything.
Painted this on glass. What do you think?
But that is a pretty cool painting of Miles Morales, though. Alright guys, so seeing all those works of art have got me energized to want to do some of my own. But I think for this drawing, I'm gonna let my multiverse self handle this one. Spider-Verse art piece, huh? Let's see what we can come up with. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Spider-Man and the Spot. This looks amazing. This is so cool. We got the Spot popping out of all his dimensional spots. And he has Miles Morales trapped in one of his little vortexes. I know there was a lot to choose from, but in the comment section, be sure to let me know what your favorite Spider-Verse art piece was. I mean, I'm not saying anything, but anyway guys, that'll do it for this video. My other counterpart will be back next week. So if you are new here and you don't want to miss it, be sure to subscribe. So when those videos are loaded, you won't miss out. Guess it's my cue to get out of here. See you guys in the next video.